Wait a second. I'm just taking. Don't disconnect. I'm just taking a picture of my coffee because it's super cute. やめて。やめて。Just wanna take a picture of my coffee. Now gonna post it. あるるー。ちょっとa second. 待ってa minute. I'm just sharing the stream with a picture of my coffee. And then streaming. Too lazy to put it on Twitter, so let's just go with this. Okay, let's connect the phone again. Because I'm using my bat cable for my phone, so it is really easy for it to disconnect. Am I alive? I'm alive. Oh, I'm here. Hello, everybody. Okay, so I forgot that I was gonna do something. How are you doing today? Let me download like an image. Just black. Blah blah. Not blah blah blah. This is not like Greta Thunberg and her speech. It's just a black image. A blue. Yeah, this will work. And then we save it. Save image as. And then let me put the image blue, like the fishes. Okay. But not over everything, just over the iPad layout. This should be kinda enough. because like I need to open my notes and I cannot show you the script. So delete. Where's my script? Okay, found it. Let's see. Can you see it? No, you cannot see it. Okay. We are doing some not scripting, but just like paneling. And basically how I set my layout instead of how do you call it? Storyboarding. Ah, coffee. Okay, so hello everybody. I'm Lun. This is Lun channel. I'm a VTuber and a Webtoon creator, an artist, an illustrator. Everything is self-named that. Like the other day, I just self-named myself. Oh, the music is a little bit loud, isn't it? Okay. So the other day I was helping my mom with business because like there's a lot of things that she doesn't know how to do and my brother doesn't have the patience to do it, so I had to do all the business and communications part of it. And they always ask you if you are the owner of the store, and I'm not like, I'm not the owner, but I don't want to say that I'm the daughter because like it doesn't sound professional, because I don't have like I don't have like a contract or anything official. I just do like the designing stuff and the emails and all of that. So I just named myself like assistant of communications. So it sounds so professional, but like it's just self-named. So it's like asistente encargada de comunicaciones. So it's like I'm the one in charge of the communications. And the funniest part is that people don't even question you. So it's like you can be whatever you want. Sash. Arurun. Hello Gina Show. Hello Shin. Hello Michelle. And I already told you, but hello Zizi. Today we are drinking a new coffee. This is this is the Lungo type, something like that. I have no idea what is that, but they didn't have Americano, and I didn't feel like buying espresso. So I just got Lungo and I put extra water because like in the morning, because I didn't sleep, I worked all night in my mom's stuff. So because of that, I had some coffee in the morning because like I couldn't maintain myself awake, and I still had to make some like not calls, but I still had to talk with support, with customer support for an issue. So I had to wait until they opened, and I still had to tweak some things. And at the end, I ended up sleeping at like 12. I slept like 3.5 hours to 4. So now I'm having my second coffee. I generally don't have 2 coffees in a day. 2 cups of coffees in a day, but like it's really necessary right now. Freelance assistant of the public relations department. like public relations sounds like from the government. So I'm just like the manager of communications. Okay, so oh right, I had to copy a panel because I added one to the page. Did it open? Did it? Okay. So because I added a panel for narrative's sake, then I have to copy the last one. Thank you for becoming a Stardust 197. So for everybody that does webtoons or uses like panels functions in oh, thank you for subscribing, Chris. I love that. Wow! Ah! That scared me! Thank you for the applause! And thank you for subscribing! So what I was saying is, for everybody that uses panels or does webtoons in Clip Studio Paint and you don't know how to copy a panel to a different page, because you cannot come and copy the panel directly. The reason is because when you copy it directly to another page, it only copies the panel and it doesn't copy the content. So what you have to do is you have to put the panel inside a folder. So let me open the page in a new tab. So for example, I put the panel, this one, I put it in a folder. I copy it and then I paste. And it copies the content. Now, what happens when you don't put it in a folder? So like this, you want to copy the panel, you go and copy it directly and then you paste. Mate. And as you can see, you cannot see anything. It doesn't have anything inside. So let me show you again because you were seeing the panel that I just pasted. So I pasted and it is empty. So that's the reason you have to put it on a folder. So if you had that issue, then you just put it inside a folder. I'm telling you guys because I had a friend that didn't know how to do it. So maybe there's people out there that doesn't know how to do it either. So yeah, that's a little tip that I found out a while ago. Your lives are so calming, chill. I really like how you do them. Thank you so much. That makes me happy. 嬉しいです. Oh, I was saying, this new coffee is pretty good. I mean, it is not as strong as the one that I had from Starbucks. The capsules from Starbucks. Because like, up until now, what I've been doing is just taking, because the box comes with 6 capsules of coffee and 6 capsules of milk. And I've been taking the coffee and leaving out the milk because it comes with sugar. And chemics and stuff, and I cannot have it because of diet. And so I bought a coffee just for myself, and I chose this one that is Lungo, and it's pretty good because it's not too strong, but it is not weak. So it is not espresso strong, but it is not weak either. So I can put more water to it and make it softer. But I really wanted an Americano, because the Americanos are kind of softer and like you can put water and keep the flavor, to say it in a way, because it is made to be watery. Okay, let's start. Oh, but before starting, let's lay out the panels. So, da, 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 da. I think I'm gonna change a little bit the scene because I mean the dialogue. Yeah, I think I may change the dialogue. Sorry for the like fail ASMR that you're about to hear because like my keyboard is really noisy. Does what do you want sound aggressive? Because like I want it to be aggressive. Spanish? No, I don't want Spanish. I want English. No. Dot dot dot. It's been I like that. Sorry that I'm a little bit quiet. I'm writing, like fixing the dialogue because I did change some like a scene from before that, so that makes the dialogue change a little bit. What the? I changed the language. Language. I repeated the dialogue twice. What the? Okay, I want to write the thoughts that he had, because like I added not a flashback, because the scene that I'm drawing right now wasn't a flashback, and now I turn it into a flashback. So I need to write the thoughts that he has before that. But I'm gonna do that later because I don't think it can fix this page. So basically that's how I work. Sometimes I make a dialogue and it works up until the end, but sometimes I write something and in the process it changes to adapt to the drawing. Because like sometimes you can draw something and it doesn't translate like you want on a webtoon, so the pacing is a little bit off, and then you can add scenes and that can change the dialogue a lot. Just half. Is that half? Oh yeah, originally this was for the Spanish contest, but the problem is I've been really busy helping my mom's business that I haven't been able to do my own work, and I'm thinking in open up commissions because I'm kind of broke because I haven't received my money from Pioneer, and that's how I get paid. So my money from last month, I haven't been able to get it. And like I told you guys, I already talked with Pioneer and they said that they were gonna investigate, and then they told me that they still haven't resolved the issue, and then they told me like yesterday that they couldn't find the reason, so they are escalating the case to the global banking team. So I'm still waiting for my money, and I kinda need money because I may need to remove my wisdom teeth because it's been hurting, and like last month it was bearable. Like I could feel it annoying my other teeth, but it was bearable. But this week, every time like I open my mouth like this, ah ah, every time I open my mouth wide, it hurts. I didn't know it's not my teeth because you can feel tooth pain, and I can feel that it is like in the position where my wisdom tooth should be. So I think I have to remove it ASAP before it does more damage. Because if it does more damage to my teeth, then I'm gonna have to remove it too. And that's no good. Well, it's kind of my fault because I've been delaying it for 3 years. I had one removed and I have two left. And it is kind of expensive, like really expensive. I mean expensive for my country. It is not expensive in US standard, but like how much would it be? 8 what the, how much would it be? Let me open the calculator. So about like $320 or $400 just to remove the wisdom teeth, because like the room and the anesthetics and all that. Please tell me I'm not the only one who spends one day on lettering and bubble placement. No, you're not the only one. I too take a lot of time. I hear authors saying they only need few hours at most. Yeah, but like it's not a full day. It's like half the day to do the proofreading and bubbles and typing and stuff. How did you learn to stream at both YouTube and Twitch at the same time? You don't have to learn to do that. You just put it in Restream. I mean, there's other sites that are better, but like Restream lets you do that for free to 2 platforms. So you just gotta go to Restream. Okay. What was I doing? So yeah, I'm thinking in just giving up in the contest and getting money to go to the dentist. I mean, it was something that I needed to do anyways. But like also my lettering from like the bubbles and stuff, my lettering is not that all that complicated. And I also don't write it, like I copy paste. Like for example, if I, well, let me finish the thing first. Did the Twitch stream start again? Because I received 2 notifications. Did I get disconnected? I can't tell you. It's like it doesn't fit. Oblige you? Prohibit you? Or maybe prohibit. I will try the diamond text generator this time. What's that? What's the diamond? What's that? I wanna do a jaggy one. Like this. Maybe this one. choose. Like this. It's going to be like a transition. So, oh, but I remember it was in black, the background. It's a script that covers your text so it fits into bubbles. But like, doesn't CSP do that for you? Oh, I ended up showing you guys the page anyways. Crap. You guys didn't see anything. You saw nothing. Nothing was shown. What you saw was a result of your imagination.なんだっけ? Oh, I prefer Photoshop? Oh, so that's why. I find it too much of a hassle to go into Photoshop to do that. It's like my computer is super slow, so I just do it in CSP. So for example, okay, so I put the bubbles first. So I put the bubbles first. Maybe a little lower. No. I'm gonna put this out of the folder. No, this is a font. Oh no, I may need more spring. What I like about these bubbles is that you can like modify them later. They're practically vectors. Um, I'm gonna do this one in a different layer. Because when you do it in the same layer, it merges with the bubble from before. What else? Ah! Almost dropped my coffee! Hello, Shaku! Karuru for you. I may do them larger. Earthquake? Earthquake. Oh, but it was a soft one. 2.8? 3? I don't think it is more than 3. It was really soft. Oh, it's dialogue. Ah! Okay. Okay, now I can. Oh, stop! I'm just putting like the dialogues and stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna put the dialogues because spoilers, but like I'm showing how I do it. So we just place the panels and now we place the bubbles. What I do next is I go to the bubbles and then add letters that are already format with the format that I want. So for example, this A is in New Wild Words. Is the new one because that's the one that allows Spanish and English as well, of course, and then the size and everything. I may change it to 11 though. So what I do next, like I was saying, is a little tip to keep the format that you want is that you change the format while you are not selecting something. I mean, for example, if you open a text and change the format, for example 90, once I exit this text, it's going to go back to the one that I had before. So in order for CSP to remember your format, you have to change it when a text is not open. So for example, now I can change it to 12 and I can put the dialogue, the text, and then if I check again, it's gonna be 12. Do you get what I mean? But this is not deleting. What we want to do is have it in 11. I used to have it in 14 once upon a time. So yeah, now what I'm doing is placing the positions in the dialogues to know the order that the dialogues are gonna appear in the story editing tool. This is here. E. F in the chat. G. F here. H. H. I. Oh no. I. F C A. F here. H I J. But this one is gonna be bigger. Another way that you can edit your text without going to the text tool, because when you want to edit text with the text tool, you have to press the text and select the text, and then you can edit it. But if you don't want to do that because it's honestly a pain, then you can select the text with the selector tool, which is this one that you see on top. Which you see on top, you select the text that you want, and then you can select the font. For example, in this one, I'm gonna use mad. It's gonna be bigger. No, it's not that mad. It's not that mad. Maybe this is okay. And then JK L. Okay, so now that we have placed our sample text, or like a way to organize it, we go to story and then edit text and open story editor, and you press yes to save everything, and then don't look, don't look. Spoilers, you saw nothing. space text so you guys cannot see. Danger. Okay. Now you guys can see. So as you can see in the story editor, in the text story editor, you can see the pages and the text in the pages, and then you can see your text, which I don't know why it is not in order, but it doesn't matter because you can change it. You press Control in Mac, and no, you press Command in Mac and Control in Windows, and then you select it, and then let down of Control or Command, and then just slice it, like slide it, bring it to the position that you want, and you can select multiples. The E, F, G, H, G, H, I, J. Okay, now it's in order. Let's save. And then we can go to our dialogue. For example, I'm gonna create a new one. How do I create a new node? Eh? Well, anyways. Ah! No, I don't want to draw. How do you create a new node when you're like in small mode? Oh, it was in the bottom, so I couldn't see. But let me write. The heck is happening? Okay, let's write. This is a sample dialogue. This is also a sample dialogue. I like cheese and F in the chat. So now we can go. I like cheese, and then F in the chat. So yeah, like that. And then you can just fill out your dialogues just like that. But in this case, of course, we don't need that. Where was I? Okay. So we're just gonna yeah, that's how I do dialogues. Basically. And then you can easily go to the bubbles, and you can change, for example, the color of your fill color, the opacity, the size of the brush, all of that. It's very versatile. Now let's place the 3D models. I feel like the coffee was a bad idea. Mate. The full set, you can also move the mouth and I think the eyes. So for example, there's a lot of free ones, like the normal bodies. I think these ones, the ones with colors ain't free, but were really cheap on CSP. And then these ones are all free. And then of course the CSP comes with free ones, the basic ones. And then you can get these ones for free. They are pretty new, but you cannot move like the neck or anything. But you can get this one for really cheap on CSP. This one. And this one you can move the head and the neck and a little bit like the shoulders, but it's not too much. It doesn't have much of a shoulder. And these ones were free too, but I think now you have to pay for them. And these ones were pretty cheap on 3D Acon. These ones are from 3D Acon too. What's the brush you're using for shading? The one with a triangle shape. Which one? Triangle. This one? This one? This one is... You understand Korean, right? Is that one? I cannot read Korean. My face hurts. My face hurts. But yeah, that's the one. If not, I can get you the name later. You understood what he said, right? Because like I don't. It's one of my favorite brushes. The only problem that it has is that when you make it too big, it kinda pixelates. And I don't like that. But for that I use other brushes. Thankfully I can read it. I'm glad that you can. Might be smaller. Mean hand brush? It's nice to know. Yeah, that's one of the ones that I had for the longest. This one is the other one that I have for the longest. Like this one looks like this. Let's choose a color. Oh. So this one looks like this. So you can go from soft to dark. Or you can go like hard and then soften it. And then this one, it goes like this. You can go hard and then you can go soft. I like it for shading. And then the one that I use for like light is this one, because like when you go big, it is blurry, and when you go smaller, it is more defined. And then you can also make more definition like this. And this is pretty much what I've been using. Sometimes I like watercolor edges, so I use this one. As you can see, it has a little edge. Of course you can edit that, you can make the edge bigger, but that's the way that I like it. The only bad thing is that when you layer it, it doesn't look as good. So I like to use this one, for example, for hair shading. It's like one strand and another strand. That's pretty much what I use for coloring. Apparently I already downloaded it before, whoops. Yeah, it's pretty popular. But in my playlist and okay. Huh? ないじゃん。どうしてさ。ないじゃん、バブルガム。There's a track list. There's no track list. Whatever. It's just smooth brushes. And I haven't tried this one either. It has like a iridescent texture. This one was water. I just downloaded it because it was free and it was going to become paid. And then I haven't installed those bubbles yet. I have to install those. Is there like a jaggy one? Jaggy. This one is the one that I use for the lighting. Yeah, I've tried the other ones, but the most recent ones I haven't had time to try it out yet. I swear to God, there's not enough good screaming bubbles out there. Okay, I was going to check in. 待って。いい。I swear to God, I'm in zombie mode today. With the work yesterday, I was left depleted of stamina. Thinking maybe I'm gonna do hens. I like to make it thinner and then muscle body, but like thin. So give it like an anime kind of figure. Sitting. Modifying the hand to make him have the pose that he's talking in the phone. And then this one is gonna be in the leg. Well, not that the hen up there matters. Yeah. And now we zoom. Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you guys about something that happened really recently and that had me so stressed out. Coffee no more. had me so stressed out, and I wanted to vent with you guys. I mean, it didn't happen to me directly, but it did happen to my brother, and it affected me as well. Not because it happened to me, not because it affected me directly, but because I felt so angry for my brother, and I always feel angry because of injustice. And I wanted to stand up for my brother because, like, if someone is dear to your heart, be it family or friend, you gotta stand up for them, because if not, you're only talk and you're not action, and you should be a person that shows that you care with your actions. Because, like, imagine in this situation nobody stood up, no one of his friends stood up for him. If it was me, I would feel so angry. I would really feel so angry. So I decided, like, to take action. Not that I did much, but, like, at least I tried. So the thing is, like, let's start from the beginning. This happened last week. Like Tuesday or Wednesday, probably Tuesday. Probably Tuesday in early morning. I was working on blank on my webtoon, and my brother was sleeping. Everybody was sleeping, of course. It was 4:30 a.m. And then suddenly someone rings the bell from my home. The doorbell. Someone rings the doorbell. Like, tini 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 tini. And I was like, who's the crazy fuck that is ringing the bell at 4:30 a.m.? I just thought that it was some drunk bastard or something. So I just let it be, because I was like, they are gonna leave. And I heard my mom waking up, but she didn't go out. She just woke up. And then we were both waiting for if they were gonna ring the bell again, and they did. I thought maybe they were asking because there was like a robbery or something near our house, or an accident, and they had to ask. But they said that they were looking for my brother. They showed like the picture of my brother and his Instagram to my mom and said, like, do you know this person? And she was like, yeah, it's my son. Hello, Master Bader. And my mom was like, yeah, that's my son. Why? And he was like, where is he? And she was like, sleeping? Duh! Cause like it was 4:30 a.m. She was like sleeping. And they said, we need to talk to him. They said, we need to talk to your son. And she was like, why? And then they said, we just need to talk to him, so can you please call him? And she was like, but he's sleeping. So it is 4:30 a.m. And they were like, no, we need to talk to him. So we went to call my brother, and he was like, what happened? he has a hard time waking up. So he was like, what happened? I mean, I have a hard time waking up, but he's like worse. For example, in the earthquake from 2010, everybody in the house woke up and went down, and he didn't, because he didn't wake up, he didn't even feel it. And it was like one of the worst earthquakes in our country in such a long time, and he didn't even wake up. So okay, he woke up and he was like, what happened? My mom was like, they're looking for you. And he said, who? She was like, the police. And my brother was like, the police? Why? And we were like, how are we supposed to know? They said that they were just looking for you. So he got up and went out to see the police, and they asked for a girl. They said, do you know this person? He was like, yeah, I know her. Why? They were like, she's missing. The family reported her missing. Talk much, and they only knew each other in person because her and her mom went to my family's business. So they saw my brother, and they've seen my brother a lot of times, but they are not close. It's just like, it's my family business. This is the only time that they've seen each other in person. My brother was like, I don't know where she is. The last time that I talked with her, it was like 3-4 months ago. And my mom was like, but why do you have to come at 4:30 a.m. in the morning? And they answered, it's just government protocol. It's like, what kind of government protocol makes you go to a house at 4:30 a.m.? It's not even, he was not even suspected in that way. Well, he was suspected because it was the last chat that they had in her Instagram, and she left the Instagram account open. But the thing is, like, don't you think that she can delete messages for people not to see? Isn't that like obvious? Like, you have to have 2 brain cells to figure that out. You have to have one finger in your forehead to figure that out. I'm like, the neighbors and all, I normally don't care about what people think about me, and I don't fucking care about my neighbors because they haven't been the best to us either, and they don't care about us either. And they were all like, they woke up, of course, because they were being loud as fuck, and they were all looking and stuff. And of course, I don't care what people think about me, but it is different about like the people around me, because I know that I don't care, but I know that other people care. For example, my mom cares and my brother cares. Probably not the neighbors. My mom cares about the neighbors, but my brother doesn't. And then the next day, my brother found out that the fucking cousin of this girl was checking all of his comments on Instagram and reaching out to every single person in the comments asking, do you know this guy, and do you know how can I locate him? And like, you tell me, if someone asks you if you know this dude, and if you know how to locate him, because I'm looking for my cousin that is a minor that is missing, what the hell would people think? What do you think people would think? Like, of course there's people that will know you and won't believe that you would do something like that, but what happens if it's someone that you don't know all that much, that it is just someone you know, or just like a superficial kind of friends that you talk once in a while, or just to play games. And if they knew how to locate him, And one of my brother's friend told him, like, she said, hey, you know, one girl is like asking around in the people in your comments about you, about the missing girl. Like, do you know what's happening? Like, imagine if someone didn't tell him. But anyways, the girl was found like the next day in another city. She escaped home and she went to a friend's house in another city. And her parents are divorced, and her father also lives in that city probably. And it's like it didn't have anything to do with my brother. And what pisses me off the most is that they call the cops on my brother. And the mom always comes to our business to buy food. She always comes to our restaurant to buy food. And she knows where my brother works. She knows where our phone is. And she didn't even care to contact us first before calling the police. So duh. Or before, and even if, for example, for the girl, if she wanted to reach out to my brother and find out where the fuck he is, why didn't he DM him? Like, she was literally checking his Instagram and asking people, why didn't you fucking DM him first? And if you don't receive an answer, then you go and ask. So I was freaking pissed off. And of course, my brother had to go to the police the next day to like give more details of what he knew. And in the end, it just happens that this girl had problems in her house and had issues with her mom that was really strict with her. So, and she was having like mental issues and stuff, which isn't that uncommon with like teenagers of 17 years old. I did something similar when I was 16. Makes no sense whatsoever, right? So she escaped home because of her family issues, and somehow got my brother involved in something that he had nothing to do. Absolutely nothing to do. Imagine being a suspect of kidnapping just for answering a girl's message. A girl that also talks and plays games with 40 years old people. So that's clearly the sign of a girl that is being neglected at home. And even if you're not being neglected financially, like you have a home and you have food, you can be neglected and abused emotionally and mentally. And I can understand that because that was my situation at my home. And it took me several years to fix myself, to fix my mind, to heal myself from all the trauma that my family caused to me. And now that I can accept myself and live my life the way that I want, and I accept that my family has their own lives and their own issues, and even if they mean well, sometimes they can say things that are mean, but you can just let it go and not attach to it. It took me several years. Like, dude, up until probably 23, 24, I still was suffering constantly. 24 probably. I was still suffering constantly with my family and with dealing with the issues that it generated in the past. Imagine for this girl that is 17 and to have a family that would post your pictures in all social media. Like, the girl escaped home because she was having a hard time at home, and they found her like 2 days after, 1 day after, no, like 2 days after, and now all of her pictures are in social media. Imagine being a 17 years old and that happens to you. She literally had to delete all of her pictures in social media because they are all over. So the thing is, like, the reason that I'm pissed is because I felt that it was unjust for my brother to have had dealt with that, and on top of that have a girl go around and ask stuff about my brother that can be misinterpreted. So I decided to contact this girl, and I told her, of course, that my brother can be a considerate person and not go for accountability, because you cannot sue for defamation, because if you want to sue for defamation, you have to prove that the person did defame you out of malice and on purpose, like with a purpose. And in this case, of course, she can say that it was because she was looking for her sister, and that's like reasonable doubt enough for the lawsuit to be dismissed and for you to lose the money. So I decided to reach out to the girl, and I told her that even if he's not going to ask for an apology, I'm gonna ask for an apology for him, because it is not fair. It is not fair that he has to go through that when he has nothing to do with that. And the words, even if she had good intentions and she was worried for her cousin, there was a lot of things that she could have done before deciding to do the things that she did. And even if you have a good intentions, was that even if you have good intentions, it doesn't justify the things that you do. And if it happens to be that you were mistaken, the proper thing to do is to apologize and then to clarify to the people that you talked to that it was a mistake and that he had nothing to do. And she doesn't even know how much trouble she caused for my family, because if you have a business that deals with public, and then the public thinks that one of the workers is a sexual assaulter or like a kidnapper or like a pedophile, they will be more hesitant to go, so it can affect our business, and she didn't think any of that, and her family didn't think any of that either. Misunderstandings like that don't just disappear either. People hold on those notions. It's going to be a public apology. That's the thing. You can have good intentions, but your words can generate rumors. And those rumors made out of misunderstandings can spread. Like, oh, did you know that, like, they were looking for so and so because of this missing girl? And the problem about that is that once you generate a misunderstanding, if you don't apologize, if you don't clarify that directly to the person, then it's gonna keep spreading. Because even if it appears in the news that she disappeared because of so and so reason, people don't read those news. They read the first thing that they see, and they don't read the rest of it. It's always the same. Media can defame you, and then when they correct it, nobody sees the correction. So everybody keeps with the notion of the defamation. So I demanded the girl for an apology, to apologize to my brother, and to clarify the things with the people that she talked to. Because if she had the time to go to his Instagram, to scroll through all of his pictures for the people that commented in the pictures, and to send messages to all of them, and it wasn't one message, it wasn't two messages, it was several messages. If she had the time to do that, then why wouldn't you have the time to make one apology to my brother and a second apology and clarification that you copy and paste to all of that people? One message that you have to copy and paste. In total, 2 messages. And you know what she did instead? What she did instead is she said, I never said your brother was a pedophile or a kidnapper. And I did what I did because I was worried for my cousin. Because her mom and sister were looking for her desperately on her city, and I was helping all that I could in a different city, which, by the way, is the city that they found the girl. So she doesn't owe anyone an apology, and it is not her responsibility for people to think what they want to think. So what does that message say to you? It means, because I was doing something that was for the benefit of my own family, I don't care if I destroy another family. I don't care if I destroy the reputation of another person. I don't owe a responsibility, an apology, because I don't have responsibility, because I did this for the good of someone else. Which, in short, it means that the end justifies the means. So the purpose of it justifies the means. And the people that think like that don't accept responsibility. So they are not gonna apologize, but because they don't see anything wrong that they. And even if I told her that in a reasonable manner, she just told me, let's just end it here because I did nothing wrong. So she, in her mind, she did nothing wrong, and she will not be able to see that. And in my mind, I was like, she's either young and immature, or she's an adult that never learned about personal responsibility. And the problem of society nowadays is that people refuse to take personal responsibility for their mistakes. People don't take responsibility and don't know how to apologize, because in today's society, for a lot of young people, and she's not even that young, she has a career and a job as a social worker. And in today's society, if you apologize, you hurt your own feelings and you hurt your own dignity and self-esteem, because it is admitting that you made a mistake. And if you made a mistake, even if you don't intend it to, it is bad for you and you cannot accept it. So instead of that, people refuse to apologize. Or if people like that apologize, this is the apology that they're going to give you. I'm sorry that you felt that way. I am sorry that other people understood my words in that way, because it's not my fault that you felt that way, because it's not my fault that the other people interpreted the things that I said in that way. So in the end, what does it mean? It just means that you don't apologize. It just means that they don't care. It's like, I apologize to make you feel good, but in reality, I don't regret anything of what I did. So I won't learn about my lessons. And the thing about apologizing is that you repent for what you do and you pledge to be better. And in the end, I just vented. I said, look, for a young person of 17 years old to choose to escape home, which is really, really scary. Imagine the things that she's going through. Imagine the pain that she's going through, that she cannot consider her own home as a safe place that she can go and seek refuge. So she has to escape to someone else's home, to another city. Of course, there's teenagers that escape out of love. But for what my brother knew about her, which wasn't much, but like, he said that sometimes they were playing, and you know that Valorant has chat and stuff, and sometimes they were in Discord. Sometimes they were playing and her mom would come to the stream where she's talking to other people and start yelling to her. And I know how that feels, and it doesn't feel good. Because a lot of times you cannot mute yourself. In Discord you can mute yourself, but if you're, for example, in League of Legends playing with friends, or in the chat from League of Legends, or if, like, I don't know, sometimes you just cannot mute yourself. And it is embarrassing. Like, can't you wait for me to be alone to say the things that you have to say? And it has happened to me. Actually, my mom has even vented to me and said like awful things to me in front of my friends in person. So I know how that feels, and it feels awful. And as a 20 plus, or well, with my age, you don't care about those things when you're an adult in your mid-20s. You don't care about those things. But when you're a teenager, that thing, that shit hurts. That shit is embarrassing. In the mind of a teenager, I totally understand that. And imagine the pain that a teenager has to suffer day after day after day for her to choose to go to a stranger's house. Well, probably not a stranger, but like an online friend's house in a different city instead of your own home. And I'm telling you because I once decided to escape home. Well, it was not my decision, because I was in my home and my mom told me, if you keep being friends with this guy, you can pack your things, take your clothes, and leave this house, and I won't care. So I took my things and I left my house, because she said that she's kicking me out and she doesn't care. So I did what she told me. And I went to a friend's house at the time. We are not friends anymore. And then she started to call the police. But the police, this is the reason that I know about it. The police told her that I have to disappear for 3 days for them to do something. And the thing is that at that time, she took away my phone, she took away my keys. I couldn't go anywhere and talk to anyone. And on top of that, she said that she didn't care if I left, so I should take my things and go. And I did that. And after that, she regretted it. No, she didn't regret it. In fact, she just forgot about it. She always forgets about things that are inconvenient for her. Now I don't really care because I know how she is, and everybody has their flaws. You just have to not take it personally and not get yourself emotionally attached to the things that they say. And she was more concerned of what people was going to say more than what happened to me. It is always like that. Like my attempts to take my own life, she always cared more about what people say more than myself. So I understand how family abuse is. And I understand how it feels to live in a home that you cannot call home, in a place that no one is in your side, and a place that you don't feel that you belong. I know how that feels. And if they would have posted all of my pictures back then on social media, my freaking cringe pictures on all social media, I would be so freaking mad and embarrassed. I would literally kill myself. Like, dude. So I understand this girl. I understand her pain. Even my mom understood that the girl was probably like me when I was 16. So I told her, I understand your cousin, and I can only imagine the pain that she was going through to take the decision that she made, even if it was totally wrong and irresponsible. But she's a freaking 17 years old. She's a child. She hasn't finished growing up yet. So she's not going to take rational decisions. But for a kid to act in that way, there's a reason. And if your family, your aunt, your cousin, and yourself are acting in this way, then I can totally understand why she escaped, and I have compassion for her. Like, if you guys cannot see your own mistakes that you do, quote unquote, for her own good, even if it's with good intentions, then I can totally understand why she left that home, because it's toxic. I can totally understand why she doesn't like her family. Because if not, she would have a secure relationship with her family, and you can totally see from the outside how it is so broken. And I feel bad for her. I really feel bad for her. If I could tell something to this girl, I would say that things are going to get better, but it's gonna take time. But you have to learn to love yourself. You have to learn to discern from the words of the toxic words of the people from the outside that push you down and believe in yourself and create a new self-image of yourself. And then learn to not get so attached, even if it's your family, not to get so attached to their words, to all of what they say. And the thing is, like, when you're a teenager, or when you're a young adult is the time when you learn that your parents are human beings and they also make mistakes, and they have their own reasons to make those mistakes because they went through things like that. For example, I now know that my mom is that way because she was raised that way. My uncle is the same way, and my grandma is the same way. Because when I went to China, I got so depressed that every single day, living in the 10th floor of my dormitory, I wanted to throw myself every day. And if my mom grew in a place like that, I can totally understand why she's so messed up like that. Why her way to showing affection and her way to showing how she worries for people is that way. It doesn't mean that it is okay. It doesn't mean that the things that they did are undone. It just means that they are human and they are imperfect, and that you have to learn to live your own way and take your own decisions and measure your own value, to stop seeking approval. That sometimes the way that they mold you out to be, the things that they want out of you, the expectations, you don't have to fulfill any of them. You just have to fulfill your own expectations for yourself. Like, be healthy for yourself. Treat yourself kind for yourself. Live a happy life and be successful for yourself, not for anybody else. Because even if your family is your family, they are still human and they are still imperfect. And for people that doesn't grow in homes that have secure and healthy attachment, where they gave them love and showed them love and care and support, you seek the approval of other people all the time. Like, you have to learn to do it for yourself. And that your parents are not this divine figure. They are just humans, just like you. The only divine one is God. Is God up there. But also, forgiveness to yourself and forgiveness to your family for yourself is important. But there's a long way until a teenager sometimes can learn that. So if I could talk to that girl, I would tell her that it's gonna be hard. Things are gonna get better. And that if she wants to leave her house, to finish her studies, and then to leave, to look for a job and leave, but not to do it in this way. I mean, sometimes it cannot be avoided if there's like physical abuse, but in the case that there's no danger to your life, then to finish your studies, hold on a little bit more because she's 17, and then just get a job and go away if it's too much to handle. And yeah, that's what I wanted to rant about. It's been on my mind lately. Thank you guys for listening to my little story. That it wasn't really my story, but like, man, it was a stressful situation. especially for my brother. Like, I feel for him, and that's why it's stressful for me. Eh, okay, let's finish with the paneling and like positioning and all that. Because we've been here for like almost 2 hours and we haven't even have this done. It's like half an hour was just me talking. Yeah, we kind of got a little bit too personal. But like, man, it frustrates me so much of parents that don't give their children love. Like, for a long time, I really hated children. How you doing? Good morning for you. How are you doing today? Yeah, for the longest time, I hated children so much. Like those childs that would be in the supermarket and throw themselves to the floor screaming just because their parents didn't get them something, or those childs that were like really disrespectful and ignorant and stuff. But then I realized children are innocent. They are just a reflection of what their parents teach them or what they see in the world. So if you don't teach them and discipline them properly, children are just going to act with their natural instincts. Because believe it or not, your children are not good or bad. Like the children don't get burned good or bad. Children are like a blank paper, like a blank canvas. But the true nature of them is to be egoist, to be what's another, greedy, is to be greedy and not to share. So you as a parent have to teach them to share things, have to teach them patience, have to teach them to earn the things, and have to teach them to socialize. So basically, don't raise your children. Raise your children in a way that doesn't make you hate them. They don't have fully developed moral compass. Exactly like that. They cannot tell things from good and wrong. Only from experimenting and like societal, so from the response of society, is that they can develop a sense of what's wrong or right. For example, if a children touches fire and you didn't teach them that fire is dangerous, they will learn that it hurts, so they'll stop doing it, right? It's the same thing from the things that are right and wrong and the things that are dangerous or safe. You have to teach them that. So if you don't give your children the instructions for that, the ways of that, if you don't correct them that and teach them the basic rules of socialization, then of course the children is the child is going to grow up being an asshole basically. But a lot of times parents just don't want to admit that it is their fault. Of course, when people grow up, they can grow up to be better person if they can tell for themselves what's right and wrong. But if a child doesn't learn how to socialize properly to the age of 5, they are going to have trouble socializing for all of their life. And if they don't grow up with secure attachments, then they may have attachment issues all their life. I taught swimming on some rich Chinese children here in Philippines, and I was so astonished on how disciplined they are. I mean, their house don't have any Wi-Fi. Yeah, Asian parents tend to be more strict with the discipline. The problem about a lot of Asian parents is that they emotionally neglect their children. So a lot of children from Asian parents grow up thinking that their own worth is measured by the achievements that they have. So they don't really have a sense of worth. So if their parents feel like they are a failure, or if they themselves don't feel like they reach the expectations of their parents, they can feel like a failure and fall into depression and lose a sense or not grow a sense of self. So that's like the bad part of it. The good part is that they learn how to be hardworking and disciplined. That's why a lot of Asian children have good grades. Not all, but a lot of them. But the problem is that they teach you discipline, but they don't give you secure attachment. And there's parents that give secure attachments by loving you too much, but never teach you how to discipline yourself. So the child never learns how to take responsibility. So there's one extreme and the other. The ideal way would be in the middle, where there's a healthy relationship with the parents, and at the same time there's a sense of discipline and responsibility. So, for example, I was really jealous when I saw my cousin with her husband and their children. They're really smart and cute, and they're really disciplined and smart, and they have a sense of responsibility and respect to adults, and you can see when you can feel it when you see it, that there's love in that family, and that those children grew up in a loving family, and they had great grades as well. So if when we become parents, learn to give a balance between those two, we can give a really happy life to our children, which doesn't mean that they are not going to suffer ever, because life equals suffering. You cannot have a life that you never suffer, but it means that your children will have the tools to survive in a healthy way and not to struggle as much when they are by themselves. And whenever they achieve something, their parents will let them play retro old games. They don't even have phones, and the rewards is watching 3 hours of TV and playing PlayStation 2 games. Yeah, more and more I think that giving phones to children is a mistake. Like, even if you say no social media, there's a big chance that they are going to see things that they shouldn't see and Google things that maybe for their age they shouldn't know about. That their minds haven't matured enough as to see that kind of thing. So yeah, more and more I feel like if they have a phone, it will be those old phones, like a flip phone that doesn't have internet. It has like little games, but you can mostly just call and take pictures and have like those snake games and stuff like it used to be. But yeah, giving a sense of reward to children and even for ourselves when we are adults, it is really necessary, because a lot of us grow up, well, no, not me really, but a lot of people grow up having everything that they want. So when they have to fight for the things they want, it becomes difficult and they don't know how to motivate themselves. But if you learn how to create that motivation via personal reward, then you can learn how to generate motivation. I miss those snake games! Yeah, me too! They were so fun! Or Tetris and stuff. Or like, this was like later on that the Nokia, I had a Sony Ericsson, those, a Walkman. I don't know if you guys remember the Walkmans. I have one that instead of being a flip phone, it spinned. It did spin. It rotated. It was pretty cool. And I used to play Worms. It was like the Plants vs Zombies of its time. So yeah, Worms. And that game of the ball that would jump sounds like a cute fantasy. The soundtrack? It is Animal Crossing soundtrack. Do you remember Space Impact? Of course I remember Space Impact. Who doesn't? I used to have those how do you call them? How do you call it? Those little play thingies, like handheld consoles, but it's not like that cool to call it console, but it used battery and it was like just pixel and white and black, and you had games like Space Invaders and Tetris and Snake. Those are like the best games. Those were the best games. You could spend hours and hours. I remember when I was in China, my cousin was the kind of children that I didn't like. Not because he was a bad kid by nature, it's just that my aunt in China, she has to work from 12 to 12. Not from 12 to 12, from 7 to 7, so 12 hours daily. Sometimes night shift, sometimes in day shift. So she was most of the time she wasn't home, or if she was home, she was mostly sleeping. And so my two cousins grew up mostly neglected, and she was separated because her husband was pretty abusive. Like he almost killed her. They decided to separate when she was in the hospital. She was left in this hospital in the brink of death. So she decided to raise them on her own, and the problem of that is that in China, as most of you guys will know, the wages ain't that great. The wages are pretty low for the hours that you have to work. So to earn the bare minimum, she had to work from 7 to 7, and that ended up making my cousins grow up neglected. So no one cared to teach my cousin all of the basic things, like to not take other people's things and to be respectful and things like that. No one had the patience to teach him properly. And more than that, my grandma was really she really consented him, so she allowed him to have all of those attitudes that made him become the kid that he was. So he would be this way. I sometimes would lend him my 3DS to play when I was looking, because if I was looking he was gonna break it. And I always taught him that even if he didn't know the answer, he had to try really hard to think on a way how to resolve it for himself. And that if he behaved properly, he could use the 3DS. If not, then he had nothing to do but watch TV or do his homework. So one day when I woke up at like 8 a.m., I saw him sneaking up to my room to take my 3DS. And that's the day that he learned that if he does that kind of things, he will never get to play the good things, the things that he wants to play and stuff. So he never tried again. When I was there, because when I went to study, because I studied in a different city, he took a gift that my mother gave me, which was makeup. He took the makeup and messed it up. Like, I checked the lipstick and stuff, and it was all melted down and like used, and they were new. I didn't even touch them before he did that. And after that, I got him one of those little machines that I tell you that have Tetris and Snake and Space Invaders and stuff. And that game that you have to like jump. And funnily enough, he had a lot of fun with it. He had so much fun that when his sister saw it, and his sister was like 2 years older, she wanted to use it as well. So for real, you can entertain children with a lot of stuff, but parents just don't have creativity these days to find things to entertain their children. So they just give them phones and iPads. The cheap knockoff Game Boy from the local market? Well, saying Game Boy, it's a little bit too fancy for that. Let me Google it. Tetris handheld. Oh, this. Let me save the picture. Where do I save picture as? This thingy. This thingy here. I got them that. And they really liked it. And it's like nowadays, it looks so old that people just don't get them. But they are so entertaining for children and they make you sing. Like, that can entertain you for hours. Hours and hours. They didn't teach him common sense? Yeah. Because, like, my grandma thought that my aunt and uncle were too mean to him. So she was the opposite. But my aunt and uncle were too strict, to the sense that it was scary. Well, my parents were like that as well. Does she work in an hospital? No, she works in a how do you call it? Fabrica? How do you say fabrica? I knew it, but I forgot. Factory. She works in a factory. That's a big problem. Met one when I was in college. He heavily relies on his grandma and aunt for any problems he faces. Isn't it nostalgic, right? ¿O todavía tienes uno de esos? Son súper entretenidos y duran mucho. So I gave him one of those, and because they didn't have phones. I mean, he didn't have a phone. The bigger sister had a phone, but it wasn't those kind of phones that have internet. It was like those really basic phones. Well, she didn't have much money anyways. Well, in China you can get phones for really cheap, but like you face the dangers of them breaking them, because when they're cheap they're pretty fragile. So yeah. Oh, by the way, I forgot to close the blue. Now that I think about it, I can just copy the pose. Why would he suddenly stand? It doesn't make sense. Ah, the brick games! Yeah, exactly! I remember getting my first China touchscreen phone. It has a weird game in it. Weird? Weird how? When I was in China, my iPhone 5C couldn't receive the SIM cards from China, so I had to buy a Chinese phone, and I bought a really cheap phone, and it had a case. And it had a screen protector, but I had it in my bag. And after classes, we went to eat to an Indonesian restaurant, and it was so hot and we were so tired and hot. I just threw my bag to the floor, and normally when you do it in that way, your phone is okay when it has a case, but my phone broke. It was like 1 week after I got it. How long were you in China? I grew up in China, till I had like 4, and then I went back when I was 19, and I stayed for a year. The only purpose of the game is just strip the image. What? What the why would people put that kind of games on a phone? What? I have a holding phone hand pose. Phone. Is this like a phone? Kinda, but kinda not. Oh yeah, I have a lot of hand poses. I got them for free. Hold a phone. A phone. A phone. Oh. Yeah, weird, right? That's more like weird. Like, it doesn't even make sense. What the heck? Where should I put this? I'm gonna put it here. Ah! Yeah. Oh no! I changed the pose of the other hand as well. Well, it's not hard to fix, so. I remember back then, it was, phones really didn't have much, but they were still fun. And I remember that in my Walkman Ericsson, the alarm was in settings. It was in phone settings. So up to this day, sometimes I go to settings when I want to set my alarm. Well, let me Google my phone. Walkman Sony Ericsson phones. Ah, here it is! I really wanted the pink one, but it was not available. And then I wanted the white one, but they didn't have it either, so I could only get the orange. And like, orange is not my favorite. Yeah, I wanted to show you that picture, but the problem is that it is full of watermarks. What's this model? It had 2G! It had 2G! Oh no, they sell it now with 2G. I don't even think that back then 2G existed. Oh, my brother's friend had this one. Wait, let me download one. Save. Ah, there's nostalgia. Okay. What was it? This one. This was my phone in 5th grade. We didn't have internet or anything, but it was one of the coolest in my class. Where did my Streamlabs go? Yeah, this one was my phone back then, when I was in 5th grade. It was pretty cool. Isn't it cool? And you rotate it. Wait. Is there like a picture of it spinning? Because like, if you don't see it spinning, it is hard to imagine, I guess. Oh, here it is. I swear to God, spinning that thing, it was one of my favorite things ever. Like, sometimes I would just spin it like as if it was like a fidget spinner. I would just fidget with the phone, spinning it. What's the name of the picture? This one? So you spin it like this. That was my phone. I don't want to cover Haku though. Where's Haku? Eh. Does it slide? No, it spins. So in the like the center, in the bottom part, it would spin instead of go up and down. But that's cute. That's the first time I saw that brand. The coolest phone in our school was a BlackBerry. Well, Blackberries were really expensive. In my class there was no one with a BlackBerry. I think from another class there was people with Blackberries, but in my class no one had a BlackBerry. They were like the iPhones from our time. They were really expensive. So yeah. It spins. Yo, really? Right? It was pretty cool. It was so cool. Like the best thing was spinning it. But I don't know where it went. Cause like I didn't have like any friends to call, so I didn't charge it much. Such. Cause like you didn't have social media back then. I did talk to people in Messenger, but no one would call me, so I didn't use my phone much. I mainly use it for music and playing games and taking pictures. I swear to God, the amount of videos that I make with my brother, believe it or not, I was one of the first YouTubers out there. Like, it was 2006 when I got the phone and I started uploading videos in 2007. And they reached like more than 1,000 views. It's more than what I get nowadays. They were just videos of me and my brother and friends doing shit in summer vacations and like disappearing and stuff. And like Jedi battles. It was La Guerra de las Galaxias, the war of Styx galaxies. Because Palos plus Galaxias, which is galaxy, and Palos is stick. Because we use like mope sticks with colors, that looked like lightsabers, and we would fight with that, and I would upload it to YouTube, and then people in the city saw it. And then I remember we went to a tailor that made our gym clothes, and he asked me, "Hey, are you the one from YouTube? The one in La Guerra de las Palaxias?" And I was like, "Yes." And he said, "I saw your video on YouTube." I was like, "No, how?" It was for me and my friends. Sadly, I deleted them, cause my brother's one of my brother's friends got mad that I uploaded a video that he was on, so and then in school, cause like YouTube was really new back then, like not a lot of people used it. I believe it or not, I discovered YouTube on China before it was blocked. Before Google was banned from China, I discovered YouTube in China. And so it was pretty new. And then, of course, teachers didn't know much about it. But then when they found out about my videos, they got mad at me, and they called me, and they told me that I shouldn't upload videos and stuff. So I just deleted them all, and they were all lost. That's why if you see my account, it is pretty old, because it's like that account. But it doesn't have those videos anymore. It's so expensive. My classmates have Blackberries as their phone, while I use that China phone. But wait, you said it had a touch screen? So when you were in school and pretty young, you already had touch screens? Oh my god, you're so young. I feel like a grandma now. I had my first touch phone when I was like 15 or 16. And then when you remember if you cringe. Of course I cringe. I cringed when I saw it back then. Of course I would cringe now, but it is still funny. My parents gave me that when I was grade 5. Well, my parents gave me this Sony Ericsson when I was grade 5. The difference of age, my god! I feel old. No. But yeah, the good times. When you were young and didn't have like a care in the world. Well, you had care in the world, like you had your worries and stuff, but like it was like, oh no, I like this guy, but he doesn't like me back. But no, I like this guy, but I cannot tell him because I don't know if they like me. And then you tell them that you like them, and then they tell you, no, I only see you as a friend. And then you fall in love with another guy, and the guy tells you, and like you try to give hints and stuff to the guy, and sometimes you look at his way and he's looking at you in class, and it's like, I think he likes me too. And then when you confessed, no, I didn't even confess, but they told him that I like him, and he said, well, I like you, but I also like this other girl. And I was like, but you were looking at me in class. And he was like, I wasn't looking at you, I was looking at the girl behind you. Bruh. I miss those times, high school love and my emo phase. That wasn't even high school. That was fifth. That was fifth and sixth grade. Ocean bra. Right. And I still have those diaries. And I was like, no, the world is gonna end. And I'm so sad. And then like drawing some sad faces. The old cringe pants. So cringe. What it is to be young, man. What it is to be young. When your worries were just only not even relationship problems. You'll read it again before you sleep so you could cringe sleep time. No, no, thank you. First of all, I don't like to open it because it is full of powder, like full of dust, and I'm allergic to dust, so I'll just sneeze to sleep. And second, it's just too cringe. It is painful. It is just painful. The funniest part is that one of those were before holidays, and we went to another city for the holidays, and it was like a 16-hour trip in car. And I was riding in the car, but the thing is, like, the car was moving a lot because the road was really bad. And then I rode it in the darkness, so with my little old phone. So then it looks awful. It's so ugly. It's really ugly. By the way, I want to change the perspective settings. Wait. Like this. Because if not, it makes the head look bigger than the body. Sometimes it is good, but sometimes it just makes it look weird. Be right back. I'm gonna eat breakfast now. Enjoy your breakfast. Although I probably after this panel I'm gonna end the stream because like I've been talking for too long. and done like almost none of the work that I have to do. Maybe from behind. That bigger, less work. Sometimes I wish that panels. Sorry for distracting you. No, it's my own fault. It's my own fault. I'm the one that cannot share up. That's a good thing, but also a bad thing. Because that's the reason that when I eat with people, I take so long to eat that people tell me that I'm too slow to eat. But the truth is that, yeah, I'm slow to eat, but I also talk too much. So it's like everybody always finishes eating before I finish eating. And then everybody just wants to leave, and I still haven't finished yet. I swear sometimes I would be one of the last ones to stay in the canteen in China, and they were closing the canteen, and I was like, no, I haven't finished eating yet. And they were like, but then shut up and finish eating. I just cannot shut up. I mean, I did shut up now. Does that count? But yeah, if I have something that I want to talk about, I just keep on talking. I just cannot shut up. To my own fault. That's the reason I wanted to be a journalist, because I cannot shut up. But the thing is, like, when I'm too nervous, I just cannot talk. So that's that. Oh, I wanted to. One of the reasons I wanted to become a journalist, besides like the moral things, and and to change the world for the greatness of society by telling the truth to people, and not like the biased media and stuff. The other reason, if it was because I wanted to face and and conquer my fear to public speaking and stage fright. Let's say that it didn't work. I mean, I'm decent. I'm pretty. Actually, I'm pretty good with presentations. But the thing is that even if I'm good, I'm not even half of what I could be because of nervousness. Even like now, when you feel my accent suddenly going super wrong, like sounding even more heavier than it is now, then you know that I'm pretty nervous. Like when I just cannot pronounce anything properly, then you know that I'm pretty nervous. Especially when I start talking super high. When I talk super low, sometimes it's because like I'm lazy. Should we put the phones too? Phone. Pretty sure I have a phone. Thank God that it is Lou's version. Because Lou has the black version and Nina has the white version. Not shadow. Well, right now is also the coffee talking, so Wait. That's a parrot. Wait. Have you seen that parrot? It's like a meme. It's like a parrot that is really near you. It looks like you, to you, like this, and then goes, wait. Like that. That parrot. There's a little red parrot. I forgot the species. What was the name of the species? Is those kind of parrots that enjoy the nectar of flowers. That parrot is pretty funny. And it has like a lot of compilations. I think the parrot was called Gumi. Gumi, the red bird. Red bird Gumi. Wait. What type of bird is red-burp gumi? Chordata. But that's in Spanish. Chattering lorry. Lorius. Also a lorry, right? Is it? Oh, then maybe it was a different one. Let me look for green lorry. No, I was thinking about a different species. I didn't realize they were different species. Green nape lorries. No. Oh, it is a family of birds. Chattering lorry. Chattering lorry, Lorius garrulus, is a forest-dwelling bird endemic in North Maluku, Indonesia. It is considered vulnerable, the main threat being from trapping for the cage bird trade. That's awful! That's so awful! In May 2021, a chattering lorry belonging to former Capcom sound designer Hideaki Utsumi named Umi became an internet meme, with Utsumi's YouTube channel gaining over 200 subscribers by August. With the wait. Well. It was like well. Love that. I swear to God, I can spend hours and hours looking at bird memes. They're my favorites. My best friend from here, actually, he always sends me bird memes because he knows that I appreciate them. He told me that. And it is true! Bird memes are always appreciated. We should have one of these days bird meme review. What phone should I give the doctor? He's a doctor, so he should have like something fancy, like an iPhone. Can I put it in a different layer, please? Please! Wait. Where did he go? So, no shadow. By the way, do you guys know Linus Tech Tip? The YouTube channel, Linus Tech Tip. I'm not the greatest fan of like technology channels. Like sometimes I keep up with them and sometimes I don't. But one of his latest videos was so funny. It was about what's the name of this dude? Hassan Piker. That's how I found you. Oh, you found me from the Linus Tech Tip video. So my brother is a huge Linus fan. Like his wallpaper, did he change it? Well, he changed it to a razor one, but from time to time his wallpaper becomes Linus, looking, staring at your soul. And it's pretty scary. It's like the Windows wallpaper, but Linus is picking up. Or it is the Windows logo, and then you have Linus in the middle. Or one of them, it was just Linus in the middle of the screen, just Linus' face. And it was so creepy. Because like every time that I minimized the windows, there was Linus there. And then I don't remember what channel I was watching, but I don't remember who I was watching, but they talk about the Linus video, and I was like, really? Did he really? The left-leaning PC? That was so funny, dude. And I was like, did Linus really do that? So I went to the video to check, and he really did that. So the video was him building a PC for Hassan Piker, who is a self-proclaimed socialist from Twitch. He streams like 8 hours in a day, and he in my opinion he's pretty hypocrite, because like he could achieve the things that he has just because capitalism allowed him to, and like he can have the expensive house that he bought just because capitalism and stuff, and he can have the greatest PC ever and super powerful and stuff because of capitalism and stuff. So he's pretty hypocritical. It's like socialists generally think that they want socialism for everybody else but themselves. Like once they become successful, then they don't want socialism anymore. It's like socialism for thee but not for me. So Linus was poking fun at him for all of that, and the things that he did and the jokes that he cracked in the video were hilarious, especially the part where they say that the PC has to be left-leaning, but they have to go extreme because it is him, so they took the feed from the PC. And the PC was literally left-leaning. It was leaning to the left. And it didn't feel right. It was too good. It was perfection. It was a perfect video in every single aspect of it. It was like the most official shit posting that you will ever see. Yeah, it was pretty good. I laughed so hard. I was crying. It was so good. So yeah, for anybody that hasn't seen the video, even if like you don't agree with it, you should check the video out. It's one of the latest that he has on his YouTube channel, Linus Tech Tip. The communist PC. The password was eat the rich. Like, am I considered rich enough to be eaten? He said. I would say so. He's pretty successful. So many birds. The video was basically full of them. Like it was a compilation of them. It was a fire. Like they burned him so much that the video was fire. That joke was so bad. Oh my god. Like, yeah. The only thing that that they had to mention it, but they didn't, when they mentioned Ethan, and I saw it in the response of my comment. I didn't expect people to like it. I just expected it to be ignored. But then people started commenting and liking, and I was like, what is happening? Like, always my most random comments are the ones that are seen. Well, the thing is, someone commented that what they should have said in the Ethan part is the, you don't even have to think about it, dude. Ethan Crane. Ethan Crane, most known as, you don't even have to think about it, dude. Apparently, Linus got flagged for the video. Some other YouTube covered that. Well, it was expected. You know that socialists and communists generally don't have a sense of humor. So I'm not right leaning. I'm just like, I follow ideas. So I'm pretty much center, although these days left is so left that I seem right. The thing is, I can make fun of myself, and I enjoy when they make fun of the right, and I also enjoy when they make fun of the left. It's like, it's just all in good humor, you know? It's just having fun and stuff. It's not that serious. It's a freaking left-leaning computer that has 90 seconds loading screen, and then Bernie wallpaper, and every time that you type A, it writes AOC. Of course it is not serious. But like, socialists and people from the far left that don't like to be called far left, they generally just get butthurt and offended by everything. It's like, bruh, it's a joke. It's a joke. But he knew that was gonna happen. He said it in the beginning of the video, and he didn't care anyways. You just have to see the like to dislike ratio. Like, if you like technology, you like capitalism. Everyone gets offended by something. Yeah, like, chill, dude, chill. If you get offended by everything, the only one that loses is yourself. Like, imagine being mad every single day. For every single little thing. And taking every single thing that people tell you as offensive is tiring. I can understand when you're a teenager and you know no better, but there's literally grown-ups that are like that. And it's like, grow up. It's like Karens, grow up. How old are you? Is that the new iPhone 22? Of course. It comes from the future. It hasn't been announced yet. I'm leaking it to the media. I'm leaking it for people to see. I don't have the energy to be mad, let alone every day. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, isn't it tiring to be mad every single day for every single thing and be offended by everything? I just find it sad. Like, imagine how your life has to be mad every single day. And the ones that don't get mad about every single thing are the ones that don't even think about it, dude. You don't even have to think about it, dude. But yeah, I pretty much enjoy my technology, and capitalism is my reason of being. Like, I work because I want things. I mean, of course I have a higher purpose, but the higher purpose cannot like motivate you forever. At some point you're going to feel that it is pointless to work so much for something that you feel that you'll never reach, and in those situations you have capitalism. So I work to get a pretty iPhone that I have right here, and now I'm working to go to the dentist, and then I work to get a new iPad. ¿Qué onda? ¿Qué pasó en el Capitol riot? In the Capitol riot? But like that was like on January, right? Wasn't that ages ago? Well, people are still talking about it, even though to call that an insurrection and to call that the worst day of your life, you have to be pretty sheltered, dude. Yay! Thank you for becoming a Stardust. No. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, capitalism is the best. Talking about capitalism and an iPad, I'm so mad because I have an iPad Pro Gen 2, the one that has the one that has the pencil, the first gen pencil. And I didn't want to get a new iPad yet because I wanted to get a phone first, because I had to change my phone for like battery issues and it was time to change it. So I'm still saving for a new iPad, and the thing is, like, my brother was thinking in getting an iPad because I told him, like, the good things about iPads is that sometimes when you have a blackout, your PC turns off and you cannot do anything but being in the phone. But in those cases, you can be on your iPad and play games and stuff and not be just in your phone. And for example, I can keep working until I run out of battery, of course. But like, it is better than doing anything, right? So he decided to get an iPad, and this lucky bastard found a really cheap second-hand iPad, but it is the third generation with the second generation Apple Pencil, and it is so beautiful. And the pencil, you just put it in the side and it hangs magnetically, and it's so cool, and I'm so jealous. And he was like bragging it to me, and I was looking at it, and he doesn't even use the pencil. He doesn't draw. I mean, he knows how to draw, but he won't use it because like he hasn't drawn in ages. It's like, for what? For what? I want one too. I want one iPad Pro with the second generation pencil, so that I don't have to freaking stick the pencil to the charging port every time that I have to charge it. And like sometimes I'm playing Wild Rift while waiting for the pencil to charge, and the pencil falls. Smack him with the first gen iPad? No, because he's gonna make me pay for it. And I'm broke. I'm pretty much broke because I haven't received my money from last month. And Payoneer doesn't know where it is. So they're investigating. And it's been like the 4th, the 14th, the 24th. It's almost gonna be 20 days. It's been like 16 days. And I still haven't received my money. And I like had to pay the bills, and I had to pay my the phone, and I had to buy things from the grocery store, and I also had to pay for the store clothes, and I won't get that money back until the person receives their goods. I mean, one of them, they already received them, but one of them are really far away. And you know how in the US, shipping in the US is pretty fast inside the US. When it has to go out, it's really slow. Plus, right now there's like supply chain issues and like container issues and like stuff like that. That. So yeah, I think I'm gonna just leave it like that and go have dinner. It's already 10:30. I mean, I ate pretty late, like at 5, so I'm not that hungry. Maybe I just have some sausages. It's like beef is too much for this time, and I'm not that hungry. Look, it's 22:22. Let's wait for 22:22:22. Look, it's 22:22:22. It's a sign. It means that you'll have a great day tomorrow. Okay, gotta go. Yeah, make a wish. Well, it doesn't really work like that. It's more like a sign. So it is telling you something, or at least that's like what I believe. It's like synchronicity, or sometimes it is just like you looking too much into things. But let's think positively of it and say that tomorrow all of you will have a really, really great day. And even if something bad happens, you'll feel great because I say so. The sign is... Wait. I stop embarrassing myself and go. Okay, bye guys. Thank you everybody for coming. Have a nice day or afternoon or night or evening, wherever you are. And remember, hasta la vista. Bye bye.